Hey, what's up guys? I'm the GamePro232 and welcome to a new Terraria video. And in this video I will be telling you my the GamePro232's, or I'm going to talk in first person. I'm going to show you my go-to warrior set of all the stuff and equipment and what the best modifiers for warrior, in my opinion, are. These can be used to extreme effect against bosses and all mobs of any type. And yeah, let's just talk about them. And I'll start with the armor. The armor is really important to be dragon armor. It is, I think, in mobile. I'm pretty sure it's gone in console. I'm pretty sure it's gone in, what's it called, PC. But I think it's still in mobile, 3DS, and I think those are the only two platforms. But still, the Dragon Mask. It is 26 defense. It has a 15% increased melee speed and damage. It has 15% increased critical strike chance, and the set bonus for the whole Dragon Armor is 21% increased melee. Increased melee and movement speed. So that's really good for agility. The Dragon Breastplate is 20 defense. It has a 10% increased critical strike chance and 5% increased melee damage. Of course, the same set bonus. And then we go to the Dragon Greaves. They have 14 defense, which is not too great, but you know, it works just fine when you have insane damage. So it has 12% increased movement speed and 2% increased melee speed. So that is the armor. I hope that that is helpful. Now let's go straight to the equipment. Obviously, I have the jetpack, which you saw already. I have the frostpark boots. I have the fire gauntlet. I have the warrior emblem and the Ankh shield, which is just a general thing that you will probably want with any set of any class. It just helps a lot. So the jetpack, it allows flight and slow fall as with any wings, but when you hold up, the rockets go way faster than usual. So that is a really good agility thing. And yeah. Next we have the frostpark boots, which with any set are imperative to have because they allow flight, super fast running, and extra mobility on ice. It has a 7% increased movement speed, which again, agility, extremely important with a warrior class because you have to get right up in the enemy's face and hit them with a sword usually. Then there's the menacing fire gauntlet. It increases melee knockback and inflicts fire damage on attack. So, I think we all know what that means. First, it makes awesome particle effects on all weapons. And second, it catches them on fire if they don't already die from the attack, which doesn't happen very often. Next, we have the warrior emblem, which is 15% increased melee damage. And then there's the Ankh shield, which grants immunity to knockback and fire blocks and grants immunity to most debuffs. These I'm pretty sure it's all debuffs except for Cursed, Ichor, Fire, Frostburn, and a few others that I can't exactly name at this moment, but yeah. By the way, every single one of these are menacing reforged. You could have them other things to match your needs, but I would have menacing on all of these, and then on the Ankh shield, I would have warding for the extra defense. So this Ankh shield is 8 defense by itself. That is extremely useful. Now, we have the weapons to talk about. The first one is the vampire knives. The second one would be the Scourge of the Corruptor. The Paladin's hammer would be the third. For the spear, the mushroom spear, I think is the best one, in my opinion. And then for the digging device, I would have the Shroomer digging claw for its insane speed. And if you can get this reforged to light, that would be the best modifier for digging speed. Now, to talk about their own specific abilities, I would say that the vampire knives are extremely useful for fighting large bosses that have large areas to attack, like Plantera. I can defeat Plantera alone in a matter of seconds with this, because if every single knife hits her, each knife does 52 damage by itself. So I think most of you can put two and two together. The damage racks up pretty nicely. And if you have Fire Gauntlet on, her weakness is fire, obviously because she's a plant. That just racks up real nicely. And then there's the Scourge of the Corruptor, which is really nice for its tiny eaters that seek out its enemy and attack it. As soon as the javelin itself hits an object or the target itself, it splits up into multiple tiny eaters which fly around for a few seconds and chase and home in on any nearby enemies. That is pretty simple. It does a really high racked up damage if you have the equipment and armor that I am suggesting in this video. All in all, I think all these pieces work together quite nicely. And now, let's talk about the Paladin's Hammer. First, it has 164 melee damage with all of the set bonuses and menacing stuff and all that stuff racked up together. 164. Pretty much one hit kill on almost any normal hostile mob. Like Pixie, no problem. Flying Fish, well, easy kill. See that? 302 damage. I just destroy almost everything with this hammer. By the way, you obtain the Paladin's Hammer from a Paladin himself. It's a really difficult thing to get, but once you get it, you will just destroy everything in your path, and it is really good. Oh, one more thing. One more bonus about the vampire knives. When you do damage to an enemy, you steal 1 to 4 or 5 health from every time you actually deal damage to him. It's a really nice way to keep your health in a fight, like a boss fight. If you go back a few videos, I did a quad boss fight and a triple mech boss fight, mechanical boss fight. And I barely dropped any health at all during that video because of the vampire knives. They just keep your health up the whole fight. And yeah, now on to the mushroom spear. The biggest bonus is, obviously, it's a pretty high damage weapon, 95 damage with all this stuff on. I mean, I wouldn't use it as a primary for any circumstance, except for when I want to go through a wall without actually entering a room. Say there was a monster behind this door, I could just swing through with my mushroom spear, because somehow the mushrooms that float around can go straight through walls and deal damage on any side of the wall. Wherever these mushrooms are, they deal damage to anything that it touches. And it really racks up very nicely against almost anything. So mushroom spear, definitely my go-to spear. Now, last but not least for our melee weapons, we have the digging claw, the Shroomite digging claw. You make this from Shroomite bars, which I'm gonna put that little pop-up right now up, and you'll be able to see the recipe for that. You make it on an auto hammer. To get the auto hammer, by the way, you buy it from the truffle? Yeah, you buy it from the truffle, and you buy the auto hammer from the truffle, and you make the Shroomite bars on it with a bunch of mushrooms and a bunch of chlorophyte bars, which I probably just put the picture up for right a few seconds ago. And you have to defeat Plantera before you get the auto hammer in the Truffles buys, but once you get that, you know, I mean, you can make all kinds of awesome Shroomite stuff. I've done a few videos on Shroomite armor, and yeah. That is pretty much all I have for you today. I have shown you my entire equipment set, my entire weaponry system, and even the digging claw itself. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, please be sure to subscribe, and maybe even hit that bell button to become part of my notification squad. This has been the GamePro232 teaching you my go-to set for warriors in mobile version, and I'm out. See you later, folks.